Papua, populated by Melanesian people thousands of years ago, became part of the Dutch colony in 1898. Indonesia, in 1949, did not include West Papua. The Dutch recognized that West Papua was ethnically and culturally different to Indonesia and prepared West Papua for independence throughout the 1950s. In 1961, West Papua held a congress and declared independence and raised its Morning Star flag. But the United Nations reneged on their self-determination agreement. And in 1962, the United Nations gave control of West Papua to Indonesia. The Indonesian government wanted the mineral wealth that was in West Papua, and they made deals with the US and British mine developers, and today Freeport Mine is the largest gold mine in the world. But the West Papua population sees very few benefits from this mine, which poisoned their rivers and devastated the land. Hotel Baliem didn't have any vacancies. I spoke to a policeman and he said he had a room that I could use, one without bars, so I took him up on the offer. Close by was a little wooden stall selling a few things and probably a future 7-Eleven. And after that, I went to the market. I love markets because you get to meet or see the people and sometimes even meet them, and you get to see how they interact with each other. The Dani male wears a gourd as a penis sheath, and that's the only clothing they wear. Going to market penis sheath is a large diameter, open at the top, and initially you put a leaf over the top of the penis, then you put in the rolled paper money, and then another leaf over the top, and now your penis sheath is also your wallet. The next model is wearing a working in the field penis sheath. He also has a pig tusk through his nose. The roads are basically dirt tracks, and here we should see a view looking into the countryside. The locals work in the fields, and with long sticks they turn over the soil while they are walking around barefoot in that mud. Looking down the valley, we see there's plenty of greenery, the undulating land and mountains on all the way around, basically. It looks really nice. Suddenly, I came across a group of people, and one of the males had a stone axe on a long handle hanging over his shoulder and a rolled up black umbrella in his hand. What a contradiction. As I walked alone in the Baliem Valley, I remembered Desmond Morris, the animal behaviorist that studied how primates communicate without words. Turning his knowledge towards humans, he wrote The Naked Ape, which I read in 1968. As one of the naked apes, I adopted the professor's theories when I approached the Dani compound. I sat on the grass about 20 meters from the wall with my head bowed. Soon the children ran around me and then ran inside and told the adults. Then the men came and walked around me. Seated on the ground, I was vulnerable and showing no threat to the villagers. A man lifted my elbow and I stood up, but I did not make eye contact. Their body language led me to follow them to the wall. To enter, you had to step over part of the wall and then put your head through and then pull the rest of your body through. The opening was quite small and it would have been very easy to defend. Then they led me to a dome-shaped home and led me inside through a very low entrance. Inside the house, I met the family and introducing myself to the people in Indonesian. The Dani people were very friendly and very hospitable. Back outside, I used a clear plastic bag to please the children with the invisible ball trick. All of the children had thrown the invisible ball a few times. Then the male adults had watched, and now they wanted their turn. They were trying to see how I did it. They held my arm, held both arms, but still didn't know. So I took the man that had showed me inside his dome house and I had met his family, I took him aside and taught him how to do it, how to move your thumb across your middle finger. It was difficult for him to do it, but after practicing for a while, about 10 minutes, he was able to do it enough that we went back and then he started showing it to the children. He was so happy to have the chance to trick the children, I left him with the bag and the invisible ball and walked back to Wamena. The next few days I walked to other villages and the children knew who I was. I was the foreigner with the invisible ball. Here we have some ladies walking back to their village. And this other road is to another trekking route to some of the other villages. I met this couple near one of the missionary buildings. The wife never made eye contact with me, but the husband did, and he smiled. Here we have two young mothers with their boys and two water bottles. This couple were walking from Wamena to the compound, maybe 5 kilometers away. Mama had a bag on her head, maybe 10-kilo bag of rice. The variety of souvenirs on this fence were impressive. 2 human adult skulls. Could it be trophies? With these 2 males, I felt overdressed. This elder was on his way to a custom celebration, hence the extra long penis sheath, or koteka. He also had a handful of arrows and a wig made of human hair with a feather decoration. The pampas grass in the koteka was just for show. I asked if I could buy the arrows from him, and he said he would come to see me at the policeman's house the next day. He came, and the next day we talked about price and the workmanship, the quality of the workmanship, and how difficult it would be to replace these. He said it would be very easy for him. He's been making arrows all of his life. Those arrows are now on my wall in Niho, Japan, along with the string skirt and the koteka, specially given to me. 3 young ladies walking back to their village, and this is the family relatives of the mummified male elder. The elder was smoke dried around 1930. He was inside the dome home, and I commented that it was too dark for a photo. The man picked up the mummy and carried him outside, and sat him on the chair so I could get a photo. The mummy has a bone necklace. I paid the policeman for the accommodation, flew to Jaya Pura on the missionary plane, and there I boarded the ferry KM Umsini, which stopped at Sorong, Manado, before getting to Ujung Pandang, Sulawesi. I was on my way to meet the Tanah Toraja people of the Toraja Regency.